I don't think that's right. She's played in a few SEC in school.
Well, I thought it said the tournament. I think it said
Welcome, members and guests. I would like to call the Finance, Ways and Means Subcommittee to order for March 19th, 2025. Madam Clerk, please open the board for roll call. Thank you. Madam Clerk, will you please take the roll?
Mr. Chairman, you have 12 members present. You have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Are there any announcements or personal orders for the members? Speaker Zachary, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, if you could help me welcome, I have a shadow here today, Lily Helton, who is actually Todd Helton's niece. She has joined me today. So Lily, if you could wave, if you could make her feel welcome. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, members, we have 30 bills on the calendar today. I do have Chairman Eldridge who's standing at the back, and without objection, we're going to go to item number 6 on the calendar today because he's got a very important meeting to chair. Representative Eldridge, you do have a motion and second on the bill. I am going to, however, hand the gavel to Chairman Hicks because I have filed an untimely filed amendment for discussion today, and so if you'll bear.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And we do have a untimely file. So without objection, we will hear the untimely file. Any objection? Hearing none, we are now on the amendment. The amendment, and Chairman, I have drafting code 006052. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
We have a motion. We have a motion and a second. Would you like to describe the amendment, please?
Yes, sir. Thanks to Chairman Eldridge, we have been working on this bill. This is a bill in regards to boat registration fees. A little bit of a concern from members of this committee and also particularly me that there was no cap or limit to what the rules could be promulgated for the registration of those boat fees. All this says is that those current fees are now $10. All this says is that after the promulgation of those rules, it can't exceed $15. And so with that, Chairman and members, I'm happy to answer any questions regarding the amendment.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Williams. Members, you've heard the description of the amendment and any discussion, and we will go to the sponsor. Mr. Sponsor, anything you would like to add to that?
No, I think everybody's good with the amendment. So we're appreciate the efforts that Chairman's made to help that get through.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Eldridge. All right. Any discussion on the amendment? Hearing none and seeing none, we're now voting on the amendment drafting code 006052 on to House Bill 530. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. We're back on the bill as amended.
Thank you. I have a question and an unusual second motion on the question on the bill. Seeing no questions would the clerk please open the board for a vote? Left it. Would the clerk please call the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 12 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The ayes do have it. House Bill 683 moves to full. I'm sorry. House Bill 530 moves to full finance. Thank you, Chairman. All right, members, we're back to the top of the calendar for consideration today. Item number 1 on your calendar and your favorite leader, House Bill 683. Leader Lambert, you are recognized. You have a motion and second on the bill. I think you also have an amendment, Leader.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
I have drafting code 005468.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion and second. Would you like to put the amendment on for the purpose of discussion?
Please, sir.
Yes. With all those in favor of attaching amendment drafting code 5468, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, drafting code 5468 goes on the bill. Now, Leader Lambert, you are recognized on the bill as amended, House Bill 683.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I've been trying all year to get a bill into your committee that actually brought in a little more money. Some of the other ones I had actually had a fiscal note that would cost money, and they all went to the same place. I'm hoping this one might come out of here. It brings in just a little bit of money. It is an enhanced armed guard. We don't have these right now in Tennessee. There are some other states that have it. So if you're an armed guard, you're an armed guard, and there's no way to prove that you have gotten additional training, that you've gone through significantly more training to be able to use different types of firearms and have qualified on them and everything else. It's just a way to try to have that out there. So it's an enhanced armed guard license.
Thank you, Leader. Any questions or discussion on the bill? Chairman Gillespie, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Leader, thank you. I'm sorry I didn't ask you this before. Just one question. Does this change any of the parameters of the authority of the guard?
Leader Lambert.
Only of, again, if they're an enhanced armed guard, they can carry a long gun, a rifle, or a shotgun. They have to qualify with that. There are circumstances where they're protecting schools or churches or other establishments where that is necessary. So they would have to qualify on that in order to be able to utilize that type of firearm. And we allow the commissioner to be able to decide kind of what calibers or what would be available on that. But obviously there are circumstances, unfortunately, in this crazy world where that might be necessary.
So just to make sure I'm clear, there's no added authority outside of the scope of firearms that this guard would have, like an enhanced guard versus a non-enhanced guard. They don't have any privileges closer to law enforcement, anything like that, other than just what you're talking about right here.
Leader Lambert.
No, they're not law enforcement. Absolutely not. In fact, that's what the amendment takes care of, not that issue. But law enforcement sometimes does these jobs as well. So if you're active law enforcement, you can go actually be a guard and you're off-duty law enforcement. And we have exceptions throughout all of this that provide for that. These folks are not law enforcement. They are highly trained private individuals that are armed guards. But again, right now, there's just one standard for an armed guard. So if you're a school and you have a threat that has come in and you want to hire, the best of the best. Well, there's no way to prove that right now. We want folks to be able to prove if they're the best of the best. And quite frankly, they'll probably charge more for those services, as they should. But just a regular armed guard license without any kind of enhancement seemed like it left a hole in the statute.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Leader. Any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk open the board? All those in favor of House Bill 683 moving to full finance, please say aye or yes. On your board, it says yes, ironically. And all those opposed, vote no. Has everyone voted? Would anyone like to change their vote? Will the clerk please call the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 12 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The ayes do have it. Leader Lambert, House Bill 683 moves to full finance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I hope the rest of the committees I'm in half as kind of to me as y'all have been. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 2 on our calendar, Chairman Boyd, House Bill 1134. I do not see Chairman Boyd. Oh, I'm sorry. Chairman Boyd has requested this bill be rolled 2 weeks. House Bill 1134, 2 weeks. Item number 3 on your calendar was so important, we inadvertently calendared it twice. This bill, it was calendared in error, so no action is needed on item number 3. So on to item number 4. House Bill 641 by Chairman Carringer. Chairman Carringer, you are recognized. Can I have a motion? And we have a motion and second on the bill. I also think, Chairman, Chair Lady, you have an amendment filed I think you'd like to put on the bill.
Yes, I do.
What's the drafting code we have is 4674.
That's correct.
Thank you. We have a motion and second on the amendment. For the purpose of discussion, we're going to add that amendment. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, amendment drafting code 4674 goes on the bill. You are recognized as amended, Chairman Carringer, on House Bill 641.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to present House Bill 641. This legislation addresses a 25-year funding shortfall for the Tennessee's 32 accredited child advocacy centers, which is CACs, which provide essential services for children facing abuse and neglect. And what the new amendment did was it just simply added the base funding to increase by 1% that they would receive. So with that, I'll stand here to take any questions.
Thank you, Chair Lady Carringer. We do have a question. Representative Shaw, you're recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, sponsor. And of course, I'm on the bill. I think it's a good bill, but I did want to ask you, so everything was cleared up with the department on this in terms of their concern.
Yes, we do have someone here to speak if you would like to ask. That's the executive director.
I think, thank you, Chair, Representative Shaw. Thank you, Chair Lady. Because this bill does have a fiscal note, if it does find favor to come out from behind the budget, we'd love to hear some testimony regarding it. But
Yeah.
if not, Chairman Shaw or Representative Shaw, if you would like to reach out to the department after, I think that would be more appropriate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Any further questions for Chair Lady Carringer? Seeing none, with House Bill 641 does have a fiscal impact. So House Bill 641 will go behind the budget.
Thank you,
Chair.
Mr. Chairman and committee.
Item number 5 on your calendar, House Bill 760 by Chairman Darby. Chairman, we have a motion and second. Chairman Darby, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill simply allows for schools to keep an emergency stock of inhalers for quick relief, life-saving medication for children who are experiencing an asthma attack.
Thank you, Chairman Darby, for that. Any discussion on the bill? Questions been called on the bill. All those in, will the clerk please open the board? All those in favor of House Bill 760 on moving on to full finance, please say aye or press aye. All those opposed, vote no. Has everyone voted? Would anyone like to change their vote? Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Clerk, will you please take the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 12 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you, Clerk. Chairman Darby, House Bill 760 with those ayes moves on to full finance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Item number 6 we dealt with earlier. Chairman Eldridge has now left the building. Item number 7 on your calendar, House Bill 968 by Chairman Hawk. Chairman Hawk, I recognize that we're going to roll this bill for a week, but I want to take an opportunity while you're standing in the well. This is a really important bill and one that I want to make sure sees through to passage. Chairman Hawk has been extremely good and patient in working with me as it relates to helping me better understand what's this. I've personally requested Chairman Hawk to roll this bill 1 week so I could spend a little bit more time on it and catch myself up to where he is. He has agreed to do that, and he did not have to do that. And so the chairman really appreciates that. So I appreciate you coming here today. I didn't know if you wanted to have a brief description before we roll it or what you want to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. And
Can I get a motion in a second? Thank you.
in being in that posture, there is an amendment that Finance Administration has asked that should this bill meet favor next week, that the funds would be directed toward the general fund, both for an enforcement mechanism as well as a general fund. I don't know if we wanted to go ahead and put that amendment on now or wait till next week, but just for folks looking in that there is an amendment, a friendly amendment from F&A that will eventually go on this bill.
Thank you. Chairman, as you well know, being chairman, it is the intent to put that amendment on. Unfortunately, as we prepare for committee, I don't have that amendment or the drafting code in front of me, the ability to put it on. But I fully intend when we come back next week and you're before this committee again, we'll put that amendment on so we can have a discussion based upon not just your desire, but also the F&A's in order how to deal with the taxation.
Sounds great.
Thank you, Chairman. Without objection, House Bill 968 rolled 1 week. Item number 8, also by Chairman Hawk, House Bill 969. Chairman, can I have a motion? We have a motion and second on House Bill 969 by Chairman Hawk. I think I also have a drafting code, which I was prepared for this bill for you, Chairman.
Thank you.
Drafting code 4949. We have a motion and second on the amendment. For the purpose of discussion, we'll put that amendment on. All those in favor of amendment drafting code 4949, all those say aye. All those opposed. Amendment drafting code 4949 goes on the bill. We are on the bill as amended. Would you like to give us a brief description?
I would, and thank you to members of this committee. This is an idea that came to me in a dream 8 years ago. I'm glad a few of you who were here 8 years ago remember that.
It was a beautiful dream.
This is a transportation funding bill. We have over $30 billion of backlog in our transportation needs across the state of Tennessee. 2 years ago, the 23-24 budget document, the Tennessee Transportation Modernization Act passed, which had $3 billion non-recurring funds to go into the transportation fund. In the budget document we're in discernment process of now, there's an additional $1 billion non-recurring go into the general fund. In a nutshell, what this piece of legislation does is takes what would have been that $4 billion over 3 years and would turn that into a recurring stream of revenue for our roads and bridges, our transportation needs across the state of Tennessee. There are many discussions. Governor's administration has taken a portion of this legislation that has the sales taxes from tire sales going toward the transportation fund on a recurring basis. This bill has that concept and adds the sales taxes from all sales of motor vehicles in the state of Tennessee, and also directs those toward our transportation needs. In speaking with all individuals and interested folks, the amendment we just placed on the bill does remove any local loss of revenue or all the nuances that go into the shared sales tax and all the percentages there. So this would be strictly a state transfer of dollars from one pool in the general fund to another pool in transportation fund. I can go on and on. I know where we're going to go for further discussion, but I appreciate allowing me to discuss it as I have so far.
Thank you. Do the members have any discussion? Speaker Zachary, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Hawk, this was 8 years ago for those of us who were here. This was known as the Hawk Plan, which I did sign on to then. So I supported it then, and I supported it then, and I look forward to supporting it. Hopefully we can get the funding worked out because it's desperately needed, and I appreciate the innovation. I appreciate you keeping it alive. Bring it back. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Hawk. Thank you, leaders or Speaker Zachary. Representative Capley, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, great bill. Want to sign on. I appreciate you.
Thank you. You're my new best friend.
Thank you. It's easy to love something when it's got a B by it instead of a million, but it is a lot of money. But I do appreciate your work in this effort. I do, in discussion with TDOT's commissioner, also the chairman of transportation that's sitting behind you there now. The state, in light of us spending $3 billion on roads through the general fund 3 years ago, the backlog at that time was $31 billion. We spent $3 billion. We're adding another billion this year, and we're still $38 billion behind because the cost of building a mile of road is higher than it's ever been, and is going to continue to increase. So having a predictable long-term funding mechanism, I think, is extremely important for this body to discuss. Obviously, when we get $5 million total as a legislative body and not $5 billion, makes it very hard to do. But I look forward to working with the chairman now and tomorrow and next year on a solution that might work. But as you noted, it does have a $1 billion fiscal note. So without objection, House Bill 969 will go behind the budget.
Thank you, Chairman and members.
Item number 9 on your calendar, House Bill 1060 by Chairman Howe. Do I have a motion? We have a motion and second on the bill. Chairman Howe, we are pleased to have your excellent voice here with us today. If you could give us a brief description of your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On a personal note, thank you for that plug for transportation funding. This bill was brought to me by the County Clerks Association. Currently, a large number of our county clerks, as a public service, provide to their constituents the ability to buy hunting and fishing license from the clerks. TWRA has in recent years stopped selling them directly to the public, and they provide that service now through a third-party vendor. The third-party vendor charges $3.52. Currently, the clerks charge $1.50, which does not cover the cost of their labor, time, computer, paper, and ink. They're just asking that it be raised to $3 to allow them to cover their cost and continue to provide this service to their constituents. And I ask for passage.
Thank you, Chairman Howe. Any questions for Chairman Howe? Seeing none, are we ready to vote? We're voting. Madam Clerk, please open the board. Those in favor of House Bill 1060 moving to full finance, please vote aye. Those opposed, vote no. Has everyone voted? Would everyone like to change their vote? Hearing none and seeing none, Madam Clerk, will you please take the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 13 ayes, 0 nos.
Thank you. The ayes have it. House Bill 1060 moves to full finance. Thank you, Chairman.
Chairman, committee.
Item number 10 on your calendar, House Bill 1229 by Chairman Lafferty. We have a motion and second on the bill. Chairman Lafferty, you're recognized on House Bill 1229.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill seeks to eliminate the $350 bond that is currently applied to someone that is trying to get their property back after a civil asset seizure. With that, I'll be glad to take any questions.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question. I was getting some a huddle up over here. Did you have a question, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you for your description. Any questions for Chairman Lafferty? Well, we'd love to give him a question on this bill. However, it does have a fiscal note. It spends a little money. So House Bill 1229 will go behind the budget. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, committee.
Item number 11, House Bill 329 by Chairman Martin. We have a motion and second on the bill. Chairman Martin, House Bill 329, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chairman and committee. This simply gives Tennessee banks access to cost-effective health insurance options through MEWA. And
Thank you.
with that, I stand ready for questions.
Thank you, Chairman Martin. Any questions? Are we ready to vote? Are we ready to vote, Madam Clerk? Please open the board. Those in favor of House Bill 329 moving to full finance, please vote aye. Those opposed, vote no. Has everyone voted? Would anyone like to change their vote? Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Clerk, please take the vote. And I forgot to do it.
Mr. Chairman, you have 12 ayes, 0 nos.
Thank you. Thank you. The ayes do have it. House Bill 329 moves to full finance. Thank you, Chairman Martin. Item number 12 on your calendar, House Bill 1023 by Chairman Russell. Chairman Russell, we have a motion and second on the bill. Chairman Russell, you are recognized for a brief description of your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. House Bill 1023 requires an enforcement officer to issue an out of service order to a driver with a commercial driver's license if the officer determines during a safety inspection that the driver is unable to read and speak English. This only goes into effect if the federal government implements it, and this was common practice up to 2016.
Thank you, Chairman Russell. Any questions for Chairman Russell? Chairman Gillespie, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Chairman Russell. You said this only would apply in a safety inspection, right?
Chairman Russell, you are recognized.
That is correct.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any further questions for Chairman Russell? Seeing none, Chairman Russell and members, we do have a special calendar for driver license bills. There are a certain number of changes we can make in a session in regards to these things. And so what we generally do is build a calendar for driver's license calendar. One of those, as you might say, one of those opportunities to change that was utilized in special session. And so in an effort to make sure we hear all these and appropriately don't spend the money until we know exactly what we're going to do, this bill will be moved to the driver's license calendar. So House Bill 1023 moves the driver's license calendar.
Perfect.
Thank you, Chairman Russell. Item number 13 on your calendar, House Bill 328 by Chairman Slater. We have a motion and second. Please describe your bill.
Yes, this would provide for honorably discharged veterans the same discount to state parks that state employees receive. And with that, I'm ready for questions.
Thank you, Chairman. Do the members have any questions? Seeing none, House Bill 328 does have a fiscal impact. So without objection, House Bill 328 goes behind the budget.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 14 on your calendar, the Chairman of Champions, House Bill 477 by Chairman Vaughn. We have a motion and second on the bill. Chairman Vaughn, I think you also have an amendment which is timely filed with the committee, drafting code 003964.
That is correct, sir.
Yes, we have a motion and second on the amendment for the purposes of putting it on the bill. All those in favor of drafting code 3964 amendment, say aye. All those opposed, amendment drafting code 003964 goes on the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Well, Chairman Vaughn, you're recognized for a brief description of your fantastically amazing bill.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to think I'm number 14 on your agenda, but number 1 in your hearts. So
Absolutely.
this bill has to do with reestablishing full expensing should the Tax Credit and Jobs Act be brought back. Right now, in 2023, we couple state law with the 2017 federal tax cut law, which provides full expenses for businesses. This would phase out in 2026 if they don't get it redone. What this bill contemplates is that if it is reestablished, then we will be allowed to recouple to it for that year, and then we would break away and have full expensing from that point on. A slight physical impact to that, but it does make itself up over time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I would appreciate it very much if you could find me a secure spot behind the budget for us to sit and see what happens the rest of this session, Mr. Chairman.
Well, you are the first to ask for that this year, so I think we'll gladly send you there with all your other friends. House Bill 477 goes behind the budget.
Thank you, sir.
We're on to item number 15, House Bill 2 by Representative Ben. Do we have a motion? We have a motion and a second on the bill. I think Chairman or Representative Ben, thank you for the promotion. I know the amendment that you have filed, drafting code 003858. Is that correct?
Yes.
For the purpose of discussion, we can have a motion and second on the amendment. We have a motion and a second on the amendment. All those in favor of amendment drafting code 003858, say aye. All those opposed, say no. The drafting code, amendment drafting code 3858 goes on the bill. We are back on the bill as amended. Representative Bain, if you will, describe what your bill does.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Williams. So Tennessee has one of the highest inflationary costs of food in the country. That means working families are paying more than ever just to put food on the table. Meanwhile, our state has a regressive grocery tax that places an unfair burden on lower and middle income families. Last year, Senator Oliver and I asked the Department of Revenue what it would cost to eliminate the grocery tax in its entirety. And it's $823 million per year, give or take. So how do we pay for it? Well, Senator Oliver and I believe that we can close corporate tax loopholes in Tennessee that allow massive corporations to avoid paying their fair share. So this bill ensures that Tennesseans get to keep more of their hard-earned money while ensuring that big corporations stop dodging their tax responsibilities. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Representative Ben. Is there any discussion on the bill? Representative Capley, you're recognized. Okay. Without objection, Representative Gann, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. How much money does this take away from local government?
Yeah, so the both portions, the state and local portion, would be taken away. I think it's around 300 or 400 million.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Capley, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Based on the significant fiscal impact this is going to have the state and local governments, I think we need to have some more discussion on this. I think more parties need to be involved. So I make a motion that we move this to summer study.
Well, we have one objection. We do have a proper motion and second. All right, we do have three objections. It's my understanding from legal that we do not have to, that we're actually on a proper motion and proper second that is before us. So the next action of this body would be to vote on the motion in a second. Thank you. Well, obviously parliamentary inquiries are not one that you can approach the chair, and we'll ask the clerk's office to come. So we're going to take a 2-minute recess. Thank you. Hasn't been. Okay. Thank you, members. To update the members where we are, we do have a bill before us that was properly motioned and second and discussed among the members. There was a proper motion and second on the bill. There was typically what would happen if there were no objection, then that is not a final action. It's a motion from the body and could be sent to summer study on a voice vote. Because there is objection to the motion on by the committee and it's a proper motion and second, then we will be on the board sitting on the proper motion and second. That being said, will the clerk please open for vote? Will all those who desire to send House Bill 2 to summer study vote aye? All those opposed to sending House Bill 2 to sending it to summer study vote no. Will the clerk please take the vote? Thank you. Will the clerk please call the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 10 ayes, 3 noes.
Thank you to the clerk. House Bill 2 goes to summer study. Thank you, Representative. Item number 16 on your calendar, House Bill 1148 by Representative Butler. We have a proper motion in second. If you'll just hold for a moment there, Representative Butler.
Johnny.
Okay, members, Representative Butler, apologies. Do have a little bit of a challenge with this bill. And so Chairman Hicks is going to have a discussion with you on a sidebar real quick. I'm going to roll you down to the heel. And then after discussion, I'll bring you back up out of order. So without objection, House Bill 1148 to the heel. Item number 17 on your calendar. Item number 17, House Bill 388, also by Representative Butler, to the heel. All right. Item number 18 on your calendar. Representative Butler, if you step over here for a second, he's going to communicate with you on that in my stead. Thank you very much. Item number 18 on the calendar, House Bill 39 by Representative Davis. Do we have a motion and second? We have a motion and second on the bill. Representative Davis, you are recognized on House Bill 39.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I have an amendment 3973. Is that what you're showing as well?
Yes, ma'am. That is traveling from the committee. So we're the bill, House Bill 39 is properly before us. You're
Thank
recognized.
you. I appreciate that. Just want to make sure we're in the right space. So when I presented this bill last year, we had quite a large fiscal note attached to it. But in the meantime, Knox County Schools implemented kind of a pilot program for me. We had 2 student representatives go before the school board and ask that this program be put in place in all of Knox County schools, in the high schools. And so with those 2 student representatives, those young women that are of a certain age have the ability to have use of those menstrual products in the girls' restrooms. What was really clever that these young ladies did was they created student ambassadors for each one of those high schools. So if there's any, they're in charge of ensuring that the products are available in those restrooms. And they created QR codes by the little baskets of receptacles. And anytime those products are low, They just text that student ambassador to let them know to get those. But what Knox County has done is they've given us actual good data. So they're just using the menstrual pads and they order them in bulk, and it's 150 per box. What we were able to do is kind of determine how many students are utilizing those. And based upon that, we kind of separated that population number that you see in that fiscal note. They're about $57 a box. So we're hoping that, that this will bring in just enough to provide that emergency use for those young ladies to give them dignity and keep them in the classroom, but not be something that's so overwhelming that we can fund.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative. Do the members have any questions? Representative Davis, thank you for this bill. It's obviously some of the best ideas we have start locally, and so it's a good idea. Look forward to working with you on it, but it does have a fiscal impact. So House Bill 39 will go behind the budget. Thank you,
sir. Thank you, committee.
We are going to go back to item number 16 on the calendar. Representative Butler, you do have a motion and second currently on the bill before we rolled it. You also do have a drafting code, an amendment that's timely filed, drafting code 5250. Is that correct? We do have a motion and a second on the amendment. Look, for the purpose of discussion, we'll put that amendment on. All those in favor of amendment drafting code 5250, say aye. All those opposed, amendment drafting code 5250 goes on the bill. Representative Butler, you are recognized.
This legislation just simply eliminates THCA and THCP from the list of authorized hemp-derived cannabinoids. That's all it does.
Thank you, Representative Butler. Any questions for Representative Butler? Representative Parkinson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Representative Butler, how does this bill and along with Leader Lambert's bill, how do they gel together, or do they?
Representative Butler.
Well, his bill is more of a regulatory bill, as I understand it. I don't want to speak on his behalf. My bill just simply bans those two items.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Butler. Any further questions? The question has been called. Unfortunately, this bill does have a fiscal impact, and so we look forward to working with the sponsor regarding this subject matter. House Bill 1148, without objection, goes behind the budget. Item number 17, also by Representative Butler. We have a motion and second on House Bill 388. Representative Butler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This legislation just removes a sunset that allows the cities of Bolivar, Dayton, Livingston, Loudoun, Ripley, and Winchester to continue to receive a portion of their local sales tax. With that, Mr. Chairman, I renew my motion.
Thank you. Any questions for Representative Butler? Once again, this bill has been calendared 3 times. There is a very similar bill that's also in the system currently, and because of those two being of similar importance, this bill has been calendared 3 times, and so therefore it will go without objection. House Bill 388 will go to the special calendar to be published with the final calendar without objection.
Thank you, Committee and Chairman.
Thank you. Item number 18, we just disposed of a moment ago. Item number 19, House Bill 1378 by Representative Harris. You have a proper motion and second. Representative Harris, you were recognized on House Bill 1378.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Committee. House Bill 1378 is about bicycles and driver's tests. Currently, we have a driver's test that includes hand signs for motorcycles, but not for bicycles. And obviously, with the expansion of the amount of bicycle lanes that we're starting to see across our entire state, knowing what the hand signals are is quite important. And so this bill would just add hand signal questions to the manual and the test.
Thank you, Representative, for that description. Any questions for Representative Harris? Representative Parkinson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'm not giving you a hard time, Tori. I just want to make sure that everybody's clear. We're not requiring folks that ride a bicycle to get a license. We're requiring the people that get driver's license to understand hand signs. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay, just thank you for that. And one last question, Mr. Chair.
Representative?
Representative, can you demonstrate a hand sign for us? I'm just kidding, Representative. I'm just kidding. Thank you, sir.
Now, that might have gone a little too far. Representative, you pick on him just because he's probably the youngest member of the House, and he just got his training wheels off, so this is his first bill. But anyway, so we do have a driver's license calendar, Representative Harris, and we do have a limited number of spots that we can do that. So without objection, House Bill 1378 goes to the driver's license calendar.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Item number 20 on your calendar, House Bill 20 by Representative Reedy. We do have a motion and second. Representative Reedy, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chairman and committee. As introduced, specifies that the State Guard is a separate entity within the military department for budgetary purposes. Basically, what we're doing is creating a line item in the state's budget for the Tennessee State Guard, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Reedy. Any questions for Representative Reedy? Thank you. This bill does have a fiscal impact. However, it is with existing funds that are currently in the budget. So this bill is good to move on. I thought I would say the State Guard in other states, particularly Florida, is much more active than it is here in Tennessee. So I look forward to having a future discussion in out years about how we might be able to further incorporate our State Guard into those discussions. Representative Reedy, you are recognized, but don't mess on your bill. It's going to full funding.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And of course, both I and Senator Rusty Crowe, for years past, we have served on the Governor's Council for Military Veterans and their families. And it was a recent meeting last year that we found out that there was 440,000 veterans in the state of Tennessee. So therefore, then we asked the question, well, the Tennessee State Guard, we are the volunteer state. How many Tennessee State Guard members do we have? And it's less than 500. That led into the question about having a line item in the state's budget, trying to get funds there for leadership training and everything else, because Tennessee State Guard folks are totally voluntary, which means they're not making an income, but in time of crisis, the situation with Hurricane Helene, yes, Florida and Texas State Guards folks expeditiously made it to Tennessee to help, where we had very few folks in that time of disaster. And both the senator and I would love to see more folks be part of this, and we will truly be a volunteer state. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Definitely a force multiplier for Florida. With that being said, I'm sorry. Are we ready to take a vote? Madam Clerk, will you please open the board for a vote? Those in favor of House Bill 20 moving on to full finance, please vote aye. Those opposed, vote no. Has everyone voted? Would anyone like to change their vote? Hearing none and seeing none, Madam Clerk, will you please take the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 10 ayes, 0 noes.
The ayes do have it. House Bill 20 moves to full finance. Thank you, Representative Reedy. Item number 21 on your calendar, House Bill 522 by Representative Reedy. We do have a motion and a second. Representative Reedy, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And this, as introduced, enacts the Early Behavior Intervention and Reporting Act, which is through the school systems, LEAs, charter schools as well, trying to help our young people that may be it's those who have made school threats, but also those who might be hungry or abused by family members, trying to help our schools identify these young people and get the necessary help to them when needed. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Reedy, for that discussion. This bill does, however, have a fiscal impact and will have to be placed behind the budget and considered a later date. Without objection, House Bill 522 goes behind the budget.
Thank you, Chairman and Committee.
Item number 22 on your calendar, also inappropriately calendared, but just wanted a little more attention, was Representative Capley. So this bill was calendar narrowed. No action is needed. Item number 23 on your calendar, also by Representative Capley, House Bill 561. We have a motion and second on the bill. Representative Capley, you are recognized for description of your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee. This bill makes government work better by improving utility systems' ability to issue emergency operating loans, streamlining TBOR's contested case hearing authority, and enhancing the efficiency of bond issuance. This was brought to me by the Comptroller's Office. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'm ready for questions.
Thank you, Representative Capley. Any questions for Representative Capley? Are we ready to vote? Madam Clerk, please open the board. Those in favor of House Bill 561 moving to full finance, please vote aye. Those opposed, vote no. Has everyone voted? Would anyone like to change their vote? Hearing none and seeing none, Madam Clerk, will you please call the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 12 ayes, 0 noes.
The ayes do have it. House Bill 561 moves to full finance. Item number 24 on your calendar, House Bill 403 by Chairman Crawford. Chairman Crawford, we have a motion and second. Chairman Crawford, you're recognized at your desk.
Mr. Chairman, is it okay if I present from my seat?
Absolutely. You're recognized.
Thank you. House Bill 403 is the Unlawful Photography Act continuing. We passed the bill a couple of years ago. There's been some loopholes that's found in it, and to keep the description very limited, basically what this bill will do is change it from Class A misdemeanors to a Class D felony. And it will also include videos and digital recordings. And finally, just with the constant introduction of new technologies, it's important that we stay up to date and to protect our citizens. This bill allows us to modernize even what we did 2 years ago. That's what the bill does.
Thank you, Chairman Crawford. Any discussion on the bill? Chairman Crawford, I want to thank you for this bill. I think it's a really important part of what we're doing. Look forward to Chairman Hicks and I working with you on this bill, but it does have a fiscal impact and will need to be placed behind the budget and considered at a later date. Without objection, House Bill 403 goes behind the budget. Item number 25, also by Chairman Crawford, House Bill 473. Do I have a motion second on the bill? We have a motion second on the bill. Chairman Crawford, you're recognized on House Bill 473.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May I continue from my seat?
Absolutely.
Thank you. This bill is called the DNA bill. Basically, what it does is just like if you get arrested and they're booking you in, they take your fingerprints, they take your mugshot, and you're booked into the jail. This would also include if you are arrested for a felony charge or above, then you would also have to submit a buccal swab, which is non-invasive of your DNA. What we're trying to do is solve some really old cases in my area. In particularly, we had a 27-year-old case of a lady that was sexually assaulted and her son was killed. And just because we had the DNA on file and with the new technologies and stuff, we were able to bring that criminal to justice. That's what this bill does.
Thank you, Chairman Crawford. Any questions for Chairman Crawford? Seeing none, since this bill also does have a cost, we will place it behind the budget and consider it at a later date. Without objection, House Bill 473 goes behind the budget. Item number 26 on your calendar, House Bill 33 by Vice Chairman Gillespie. You have a motion and second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay to go for my seat?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, members. What House Bill 33 does is it sets stronger bail restrictions for violent offenses. It would establish a presumption against releasing defendants on personal recognizance if charged with an offense using or display of a firearm, a crime resulting in seriously bodily injury or death of the victim. With that, I can go into a lot more detail if you'd like, but I renew my motion.
Any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, since this bill does have a cost, we'll have to place it behind the budget and consider it at a later date. Without objection, House Bill 33 goes behind the budget. Item number 27 on your bill, our favorite chairman, House Bill 482. Chairman Hicks, Do I have a motion second? Do I have a motion second? Chairman Hicks, you're recognized.
All right, thank you, Chairman, members. This bill, House Bill 482, this legislation simply adds prostate, breast, and pancreatic cancers to the list of cancers that we will include in the Berry-Brady Act. Of course, the Berry-Brady Act was an act that we passed back in 2019, and at that time it covered four cancers, which were again covered by workers' compensation. That was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, colon cancer, skin cancer, and multiple myeloma. So again, this legislation just adds prostate, breast, and pancreatic.
Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, since this bill does have a cost, we'll have to place it behind the budget and consider it at a later date without objection. Without objection, House Bill 482 goes behind the budget. Item number 28 on our calendar, we have a motion second on House Bill 1165. Representative Parkinson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee. This bill was actually a bill that actually got real consideration during our special session, and it simply creates enhancements for those adults that are coercing or manipulating minors to do their crimes and taking advantage of the loopholes in our law. Because they know that the minors their records will be hidden, and the fact that they won't receive the time that the adult will receive. So that's what this bill does. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Any discussion on the bill? Since this bill does have a cost, we have to be placed behind the budget and considered later date. Without objection, House Bill 1165 goes behind the budget. All right, item number 29 on the calendar, House Bill 132 by Deputy Speaker Zachary. We do have a motion and a second on the bill. Speaker Zachary, I do think we have an amendment with drafting code 005889.
Yes, sir, that's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, do I have a motion and second on the amendment? We have a motion and second on the amendment. All for the purposes of discussion, we'll put the amendment on. All those in favor of amendment drafting code 5889, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, amendment drafting code 5889 goes on the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill as amended? Chairman Zach?
Thank you, Mr.
Your
Chairman.
title changes all the time. I'm trying to keep up with it.
Thank you,
Says
Mr. Chairman.
Old dog, new hit.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, this bill is a result of the ad hoc committee that both our speakers formed in July of 2020 to review executive powers during a state of emergency. We've had plenty of time to reflect on COVID and the various acts of governors around the state during a state of emergency. And this bill, as a result of that, does three simple things. It simply says that during a state of emergency, the governor cannot suspend any state law or regulation that would violate the Bill of Rights or our Declaration of Rights within the Tennessee State Constitution. And number two, it says that the legislature, through joint resolution, can terminate a state of emergency at any time. We're one of 8 states that has no legislative engagement within a state of emergency, and roughly 26 states currently have this in place now. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Speaker Zachary. We did have Director Sheehan was signed up to testify. Okay, I do not see him here. So with that being said, is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, this bill does have a cost, so we'll have to place it behind the budget and consider it a later date. Without objection, House Bill 132 goes behind the budget. Item number 30 on your calendar has previously been considered. An amendment has been adopted. This is my bill. And so because we're not doing any final action on it, without objection, House Bill 987 will go on a special calendar, be published with the final calendar. That completes our calendar for today. Do we have any further business before the committee? Seeing none, we stand adjourned.